My name is Kiara Bent, and I'm a junior zoology major from Texas Tech University. I want to thank you for joining me in my research presentation. I hope you enjoy. My investigation is concerning bat hunting and the noted trends with climate in Southeast Asia. It's universally known that the global ecological status has been in decline for decades. Due to human population skyrocketing as hours pass, more and more habitats are being intruded upon and destroyed. Within the regions of Southeast Asia, the bat populations have continually been at risk due to being hunted for medicinal purposes, sport, and cuisine. Recognizing the global ecological status, we must ask ourselves these essential questions. Are there any significant trends that lead us to the why, when, and where these bats are being hunted? What specific factors influence the concentration of bat hunting in Southeast Asia? By isolating these specific questions to investigate, it can further lead us to predicting the trends of bat hunting. The investigative question that was ultimately isolated for this study was, what environmental conditions have the greatest influence on the prevalence of bat hunting? With the investigative question established, the hypothesis was, if environmental conditions such as temperature and rainfall influence when bats are active versus dormant, then we can predict when and where bats will be hunted using climate patterns. Mechanisms utilized in order to obtain data was through a global climate database called WorldClim that contains years' worth of global temperature and precipitation records. To gather the most specific data, we isolated the locality to Southeast Asia with a 20 by 20 kilometer grid cell resolution for the average monthly precipitation and temperature. The records of bat hunting data were collected by students within the research group from social media posts. We used keywords that related to bat hunting in different languages across the globe and input these keywords into different social media platforms, such as Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and others as well. After sifting through social media posts with the specific keywords in Southeast Asia specifically, we'd use these records as evidence of bat hunting occurrences. We took record of these posts by organizing each to the when, where, hows, and the whys. After gathering data, it was essential to make sure the obtained posts had the specific locality to Southeast Asia and Indonesia. We made graphs from the data obtained. Two separate graphs were made to illustrate the results of the data collection. The first graph illustrated here represents the average monthly precipitation indicated by the right y-axis and green trend line, compared to the number of posts per month, indicated by the left y-axis, monthly yellow bars. According to the data collected, when precipitation dramatically dipped, the recorded occurrences of bat hunting declined. When precipitation was continuously above 150 centimeters, the recorded occurrences of bat hunting decreased. The trends seen across the bat hunting posts were increasingly above 4 between the months of March and July. The second graph illustrated here represents the average monthly max temperature, indicated by the right y-axis and green trend line, compared to the number of posts per month, indicated by the left y-axis monthly yellow bars. After looking over the data, results were defined as inconclusive and inconsistent. Temperature had no conclusive effect on the number of recorded occurrences of bat hunting. The trend seen across the number of monthly bat hunting posts remained the same. On to the discussion of the results. Within the Southeast Asian region, temperature was observed as less of a factor. However, rainfall has conclusive influence on bat activity, which assists hunters in predicting bats' whereabouts. The precipitation trends are seen to be connected in some areas within data, but not all, which leads to the overall conclusion that the data obtained was unclear and inconclusive. Some limitations that were encountered were that the posts weren't always synonymous with all bat hunting occurrences. For example, when hunters venture out to hunt, it isn't always accounted for on social media. Therefore, the data we are working with isn't 100% accurate. Social media also provides a plethora of hunting posts that tend to be very scattered and tedious to filter through. Some social media data points come out as inconclusive due to irrelevance or common mixed concepts, such as local trends. Upon reflection, there are some things that could polish the experiment and yield more accurate results in applications. By gathering more data across the climates and number of posts, there is a higher possibility of gaining a wider breadth of knowledge about bat hunting prevalence versus climate conditions. By considering the limitations of the experiment and method of gathering data, it would better assist us in refining the experimental approach. Consulting outside sources that contributed a more experienced outlook can also influence new methods of yielding more results. With all things considered, although statistical data obtained were mostly inconclusive, it shows that there is so much more research to be conducted to save bat species. With humankind changing and exponentially expanding spatially, it is essential that we continue to discover patterns among other species and our own in order to promote ecological equilibrium. Without certain keystone species, such as the bat, the ecosystem and environment will be destroyed. Finally, I'd like to thank you for joining me in my presentation. I'd also like to thank all of those who have assisted me in the make of this presentation. If you have any resounding questions, concerns, or declarations on this presentation, please feel free to get in touch with me through email. Thank you so much.